Clever TV's New Moon chapter by chapter recap continues right now. Hello everyone, I'm Jocelyn Davis and we're continuing now with chapter 18, The Funeral. The chapter opens at Bella's house. Bella sprints down the stairs and standing about 6 feet behind the door is Jacob. Of course, Alice already knew he was coming, and when Bella looks beyond where Jacob stands, she sees Jared and his idling rabbit. She knows that they didn't want him to go to Bella's house alone. They weren't sure he could handle it. Jacob's face is like a mask, but he can't fool Bella. She sees the distaste on his face and the faint trembling in his hands. It makes Bella remember the afternoon when Jacob had chosen Sam over her. She's annoyed and sad at the very same time. Finally, Bella says, "Hey," and assures Jacob that she's alone. Jacob asks if he can talk to Bella for a minute. "Of course you can," Bella replies. Jacob marches right past Bella into the house. He eyes the blankets on the floor in the living room and sarcastically asks if Bella has had a slumber party. Bella throws it right back at him, saying, "Yeah." She doesn't like how Jacob is acting. Jacob paces quickly around the house, looking uncomfortable, and finally Bella asks him what his problem is. Jake admits that he doesn't like being at her house. This hurts Bella. He says he just has to ask her a few questions before he goes back for the funeral. Bella continues to be sarcastic, all the while feeling bad, knowing that she'd chosen Edward the night before over him, and she'd hurt him first. Jacob knows that Alice is staying there and asks how long she'll stay. Bella says that Alice can stay as long as she'd like, and Jacob asks Bella to tell her about Victoria. Of course, Bella's already filled her in. Jacob reminds her that when the Cullens are around, the pack can only protect their own lands. He says she'll only be safe in La Push. Bella says okay in a very small voice. Jacob stops talking and she asks him if that's all he has to say. He says there's just one more thing. Are the rest of them coming back now? He finally asks Bella. Bella stays silent while the tension rises. She then says, no, they're not coming back. Jacob walks away so quietly she doesn't even hear him leave. Bella thinks the situation that has made her so quickly alienate him is a total disaster. Could he ever forgive her? Bella buries her face in her hands for a while. After a bit, she hears Jacob again. He hadn't ever left. She looks up to see him and notices that she's crying. He says he's broken his promise to her once again, and he says sorry. Bella admits that it was her fault, and she also apologizes. Bella then asks if she can be friends with both he and Alice at the same time, but Jacob, of course, says no. He doesn't think that she can, but he does promise to be her friend no matter what she loves. Then Jacob takes the still crying Bella into his arms. He can smell the sickly sweet and icy vampire smell in her hair. It burns his nose. But Bella feels so torn. She can't live without Jacob, and she knows she'll feel dead again when Alice leaves. Jacob tells Bella that he'll miss her so much. He says that he won't put himself anywhere near Alice since Bella loves her. He doesn't want to break the treaty or kill Bella's friend. Jacob holds Bella close with her face in one of his hands. Bella doesn't want to say goodbye to him, even for just a short time. Jacob releases his arms and takes one hand across Bella's jaw. She notices that he's trembling again, although this time it's not from anger. And Bella realizes that she hasn't made this decision yet. She didn't know if he was her Jacob. She knew that he could be, and that she loved him in so many ways. And Edward was never coming back. Maybe a kiss from Jacob would be nice. It wouldn't be a betrayal. Jacob starts to lean in for a kiss when suddenly the phone interrupts them. Jacob grabs the phone and answers it, all the while still holding Bella's face in his hands. After seeing Jacob's reaction to the caller, Bella believes that Alice is on the other line. Jacob hangs up after telling the caller that Charlie is at the funeral. Bella is mad that he's hung up on the caller and asks who it was. She becomes even more enraged when she learns Carlisle was on the other line. Suddenly, Jacob's body language changes and he says bye. Bella doesn't understand why he's leaving so suddenly. Then she sees Alice standing at the foot of the stairs. This is when everything changes. Alice is obviously overcome with worry. Bella wants to know what's wrong. All Alice will say is Edward. Bella doesn't understand. Jacob is swearing while Bella is still in a fog. Alice says that they have to hurry, although Bella doesn't know why yet. After calling the Cullens and talking to Rosalie about Edward, Alice becomes even more despaired and upset. After hanging up with Rose, Alice looks to Bella and Jacob, who explains Carlisle's call, the one where Jacob told him that Charlie was at the funeral. Alice falls to her knees and Bella begs her to tell her what's going on. Alice tells Bella that it wasn't Carlisle on the phone, it was Edward. He thinks the funeral is for Bella. They realize that Rose told Edward that Bella killed herself. Bella doesn't understand why Alice is still so upset because she thinks they can call him and let him know Bella is okay. Then Alice explains that Edward won't call again. Because he believes Bella is dead, Alice explains that he's gone to Italy. Edward's voice comes back to Bella. She immediately knows that he's gone there to provoke the Volturi to kill him. Bella shrieks, "No, no, no," she calls out. Bella doesn't understand why he'd want to die. After all, he was the one who left her. Jacob puts himself between them, but Bella goes around him. Alice says it might be too late already. Alice has already seen him go to the Volturi to ask to die. Alice thinks that Edward has a plan to offend them. If they try to help, they could all be eliminated. Bella says that she'll go alone if she has to. Jacob promises to protect Charlie. Bella leaves a note for her dad as Jacob whispers to Bella not to go. Of course she goes anyways, and as she runs out, Jacob and Alice have an altercation. Jacob is infuriated that Alice is putting her in danger. Bella pauses and Jacob catches her, literally begging and his eyes full of tears, begging her not to go. Bella says she has to go. Jake says she doesn't have to though. She pulls herself free and begins sobbing and hugs him quickly. She says bye and kisses his palm, unable to even look at his face. And with that, Bella hops in the car. Jacob is already gone. As they speed away, Bella sees a bit of white by the trees. It's a piece of shoe. And that's the end of chapter 18. So you guys, here is the quiz question. Do you think Bella would have kissed Jacob if Alice hadn't have walked in? And if so, what would this have meant? Leave a comment, or better yet, leave a video response with your answer. Thanks for watching Clever TV. I'm Jocelyn Davis. Keep coming back right here for more New Moon chapter recaps.